Every time they come to your house, they charge you. It depends on the city. $50, $75, $100. You get a charge for that. So imagine you're in a city of, I don't know, 30,000 people, and there's 300 homes for sale. All right. This process, every time they come, every time you submit something, there is a fee, there is a charge for this. So how much does the point of sale cost? The point of sale inspection itself, I know here in Cuyahoga County, I believe Shakers is $200. So not only do you create the list and you create how much you think it's going to be worth, they charge you $200 for coming out there and saying, yeah, you got these items on here, but you need more. So the tip for today is when you're buying or selling a home, especially in Ohio, and a lot of counties, a lot of cities are doing similar things. I've seen this in other states, but it's called something different. Check with the city first and see what that is like, because you may find, especially as an investor, you may find yourself in a bad situation when it's time to get this property. Let me give you an example. So we've already established that you got to get this point of sale, and before you could sell the house or buy the house, you need to have someone at the city office give you a certificate. So you need this certificate before you can sell. So how do you go about getting that certificate? Let's say that I am the buyer, you are the seller. As the seller, you could say, hey, city, I don't want to fix anything. I don't want to do anything. You come in here, you do your point of sales, you find what you feel is needed. I'm going to pass those off to the buyer. So now you're going to pass off any violations that the city finds to me. But if you're going to pass them off to me, then I'm going to say you need to lower your selling price. Okay, so let's say that, it's $100,000 worth of repairs. And I'm just saying 100,000 because that's a round figure. Okay, well, if there's $100,000 worth of repairs, then I'm going to say you need to drop the price of your sale 100,000. If you don't, then you have to fix those repairs. So you can pass those off, but there'll be a cost at passing those off. Let's say that you know that those repairs are not going to cost you $100,000. So you say, I'll repair them myself. There's a trick to this. And I actually went through this. Here's an example with a hot water tank. If you're trying to sell that house and they say it needs a hot water tank, they don't care if you build hot water tanks for a living. They don't care if you know how to do the hot water tank. What they're going to tell you is you need to come to the city and get a permit to change the hot water tank. And you'll be like, a permit? I built these things. They don't care. Let's say you don't build them, but your brother, or uncle, lives, not far away. And he says, look, I'm an HVAC guy. I'm a plumber by trade. I'll come change your hot water tank. The city says that you have to use someone that's registered with them. Okay? You have to use someone that's registered with them to change that hot water tank. If your brother lives in another city and he's not registered with them, the only way he can legally change that hot water tank is he has to go register with the city. Some cities charge $400 for someone to register with them. You see where I'm going with this whole money grab? So if you're a city of 30,000 people and you have, 500 different contractors registered with you at $400 a contractor, you do the math, right? It's like free money. And the reason why I say it's free money is because the idea of it is we want to make sure that we have licensed, registered people working on homes in our city. Great idea. But if they screw up, the city does not help you in court battles. Okay? It's like, oh, they're just registered here. If you have a problem, that's between you and them to fight. Either way, so we've established that your brother can't come and change it. So let's just say you say, you know what? They're not going to know. Before I do this point of sale inspection, I'm going to have my brother change this hot water tank before I call them out and they even see the violation. Here's a little bit of information. If he changes out that hot water tank and he sits that old hot water tank on the lawn to be picked up, building inspector rides around, he sees it in front of that address, they may cite you. Yes, they may cite you. Now, to have a licensed person do the hot water tank, that is not, the gripe here. There's gas lines going in there, there's water lines going in there. So you want somebody that's licensed, or if, like I said, if you build hot water tanks for a living, or you're a plumber for a living, HVAC guy for a living, that's good. But the problem comes in is that even if you do that by a trade, they don't care. They want you to register with them. So let's say you created that list and you said, hey, I got some chip paint down here that I need to deal with. I got a hot water tank I'm going to replace, and you put all of that in. Let's say that you say it's going to cost me $1,000 to put in this hot water tank. The city will come back and say, well, all of the reviews and all of the estimates that we've had over the years, we think it costs $1,500 to do that hot water tank. So what they will do is they'll say it costs $1,500 to do that hot water tank. You have to put money in escrow, usually 1.5 times the amount, sometimes twice the amount. So let's say you're in a city where you have to put twice the amount in escrow. Listen to me closely. You said it cost $1,000. They feel it cost $1,500. They'll tell you to put $3,000 in escrow. Now your $3,000 is in escrow, but you still have to come out of your own pocket in order to replace the hot water tank. They don't give you that money to go buy the hot water tank from the plumbing supply store. You need extra money to go buy it and then put it in. Then you call the city back out. They'll charge you $75. Usually it takes 2 weeks for them to come out. They'll charge you $75. They'll come and inspect it. They'll say, yes, it's fine. Then you get to go take out the $1,500 for that particular hot water tank. It's like they'll replace the money back into your pocket. I've heard so many reasons why this is necessary. They don't want contractors starting jobs, doing half of the house, and then just leaving. If the money is in escrow, they can't do it. But the contractor isn't the one that's putting the money in escrow. You are. But I guess that could be one good idea behind this. But again, you see where I'm going with this whole thing, where it seems like it's making money for the city.